Mary helps the Christians, hiding in the upper room. After the burial, everyone gathered in the upper room to keep the Sabbath. All were sad and afraid. The disciples were afraid that what happened to Jesus would happen to them if the Jewish officials found them. Mary and the other women mourned and prayed. And even though Mary told everyone that Jesus would not abandon them, it was hard for them to feel hopeful. A special visit. We are told by many that on Easter morning, before anyone else knew that Jesus was risen from the dead, he appeared privately to his mother, Mary. She had been faithful to him all his life. Now he graced her with the fullest realization that he was God's own son. By Easter Sunday evening, everyone in the upper room was rejoicing in the risen Lord. Mary, too, rejoiced with them, and she praised God for glorifying his Son. At home in the upper room. Mary remained in Jerusalem with most of the other women. The upper room became a sort of home for the disciples and the women who traveled in their company. It seemed they would be staying there for several weeks. Jesus frequently appeared there to teach the disciples. One day, when he had come to teach them, Jesus and the disciples walked over to Bethany, a section of town just outside Jerusalem. There, Jesus was lifted to heaven by God. It was the end of his time on earth, but he promised to send them the Holy Spirit and to be with them always, waiting for the Holy Spirit. The disciples returned to the upper room and began to pray for the coming of the Holy Spirit. Mary and the other women were among them, encouraging everyone to remain fervent in prayer. 10 days later, on Pentecost, when they were all together in the upper room praying, the Holy Spirit came down upon them like a blowing wind with tongues of fire. All were filled with the Holy Spirit. Meeting new people. On Pentecost, Mary watched the disciples go out bravely into the streets and tell people about her son, Jesus. Many who heard began to believe in Jesus as the Messiah. Through the next weeks and months, new converts came to meet and talk to each other. Many wanted to meet Jesus' mother, Mary. They asked her questions about Jesus' birth and childhood, questions only she could answer. She told them of the visions, dreams, and prophecies about Jesus. Mary was very much at the center of the new Christian community, and the upper room became their headquarters. Mary was careful to watch that none of the new believers who came to the upper room went away hungry or in need. It was a rule among the early Christians that those who had things would share them with those who did not. With John the disciple remembered Jesus' request that he take care of Mary, so she went to live in his home. When John went on missionary journeys, we are told, Mary lived with his parents, Zebedee and Salome, in their home beside Mount Olivet, talking with Jesus. Wherever Mary was, the new Christians came to visit her and talk with her about Jesus. Luke, a physician who became a disciple of Jesus, often asked Mary to tell stories about Jesus, how Jesus came to be born, and what he was like as a child. When Luke wrote his Gospel of Jesus for the world, he included many of the stories Mary told him about Jesus' birth and childhood. to be with Jesus. About 2 years after Jesus ascended to heaven, we are told, Jesus appeared to Mary in a vision, telling her she would soon die. And like him, she would be taken in her body to heaven. Mary asked that the apostles be with her at her death, and they were all able to be present. When Mary died, we are told, her body glowed with great brightness, and the air was filled with the fragrance of lilies. The apostles carried her to the tomb. They kissed her for the last time and departed. After they left, Jesus appeared, called her by name from the tomb, and embraced her. Then the angels came and escorted Mary to heaven to be with Jesus and the Father forever. Remembering us, we are told that when Mary came into paradise, she was crowned Queen of Heaven in the presence of all the angels. Now in heaven, she continues to take care of all her children, all on earth who ask for her help. Till the end of time, countless blessings will come to us from Jesus because of the loving care and concern of Mary.